We'll call the meeting to order tonight. Welcome, everyone. I ask Council Nance to offer prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's stand, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together tonight to be about your business. I pray that you'd be with us tonight as we make decisions. Pray for those that are overseas, that you'd be with them and help them, encourage them, keep them safe, Lord. And we give everything to you, Lord, in your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Seats. Council Shropshire, would you have you called Trammell?
No, I think he's got it right here.
Okay. We'd call Trammell and on speaker, and just dial it in there.
I got to hit a number to dial out.
And then just mute it.
Huh?
Yes, you have to have it.
And if he doesn't answer, it's okay.
If he sounds like a mouse.
Well, mute just works on our end, doesn't it? Mute just works on our end.
True.
You have to send.
No, this is catcher.
Hello.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute my phone so nobody can hear anything, then I'll answer as I get asked to.
Well, very good. We're going to have roll call here, so don't mute yet.
I didn't understand.
Roll call, please.
John Ketcher.
Here.
Troy Shropshire.
Here.
Dennis Nance.
Here.
Steve Smith.
Here.
Randy Chitwood.
Here.
Brianna Brakefield.
Here.
Amy Trammell.
Here.
Yolanda Thompson.
Here.
Item 2, petitions from the audience. There are none at this point. Item 3, we'll do our department head reports. Start with building inspector. Recognize Mr. Kenny Young.
I don't have anything to report, but is there any questions y'all have for me? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. Emergency management, Mr. Johnny Jansen.
Well, we've been getting ready for all the spring storm season the last couple of weeks, making sure everything's working like it's supposed to. All the sirens are working and all the contact information's updated and everything. So I think we're all squared away there. I did want to let you know that we are not doing our pod for tomorrow in Mays County. They're doing a big one in Rogers County that we'll be helping with. They're doing like 5,000 people tomorrow in Claremore.
Vaccinations.
Vaccinations, yep. So,
Where?
I think it's at the Expo building that is where they're having it at.
Okay.
And that may be something, depending on how this goes, maybe something that they continue to do in the future is do less of them, but do bigger ones and combine counties instead of trying to do 2 counties at once.
Are they already filled up over there with?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And things are going really well. If anybody's been out to any of the vaccination pods, I mean, the health department's really done well with them. They're very smooth, very organized, and we're not having any issues. Doesn't really seem to matter how many people we have there. They just run them through. So,
I don't know about you, but I've had many compliments about how
Yes.
smooth it has run.
yeah,
So,
they've done very well.
They all work very hard and sometimes don't even take breaks so they can get everybody
Yep.
through as fast as possible, efficiently as possible. And it's commendable.
kudos to emergency management and to Mays County Health Department.
Appreciate that.
All that. Any questions for John?
What's up tonight?
Huh?
What's up tonight?
Oh, it's at-
Yeah, it'll actually probably be for us, it'll probably be tomorrow morning, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. I did want to say one thing. It's been a while since we've announced this, but we do keep a registry of people that have storm shelters. And I think Pryor's got maybe a little over 300 that are registered. And so if we did wind up having a tornado in town, we would print that list off and give it to the police department and fire department. They would go check to make sure that nobody is stuck in their storm cellar. So if somebody is interested in doing that, all they gotta do is call our office and we'll put them on the registry.
Great.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Fire Department, no report tonight. Golf course, no report tonight. Library, recognize Carrie Rarrett.
You guys should have the numbers for February with you. It was, not surprisingly, with all the weather that we had, a pretty slow month for us. But we did start doing a new virtual program. So we've been doing story time online every week since the pandemic started, and we stopped doing in-person programming. But we also started doing First Chapter Friday, where Autumn, our youth services librarian, reads the first chapter from a middle grade or a young adult book. And those have been going really well. So go to our Facebook page and check them out. You guys have any questions for me?
Have you had any demolition work start at the library?
Not at the library, but we're having a great time supervising everything across the street.
Very good. Any questions for Carrie?
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Parks and Cemetery, no report tonight. Police Department, recognize Chief Nichols.
I don't have anything tonight, Mayor, unless anyone has any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Mayor, I think we lost Jimmy.
Did we lose Mr.
Hello?
Trammell?
No, I hear him.
He's asking if we'll try it again.
I could hear him.
Nance
All right,
unhooked it.
so
Mayor, I object to sharing a microphone with Jimmy.
Do what?
duly noted, Council Catcher.
They're trying.
Here we go.
He's trying to call me, my phone's off.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
My phone's at home on the wall.
All right, we're gonna try it one more time. All right, sorry.
All right,
Still with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
if it
All right.
happens
I
again,
won't say nothing. Thanks.
Council Trammell, if it happens again, then don't hesitate to call. We'll get you tuned in. All right, Rec Center, recognize Jessica Long.
Just a couple things. It's spring break, so we're super busy, which is great. And Kim did mention this morning that as of last night, we had already done more business revenue-wise in the month of March than we had the whole entire month of February. So, which February was kind of an off month with the software and the snow, but we're busy, so it's good. Everything's going in the right direction. The other thing I just want to mention, in your packet, I think you saw some awning options for our new canopy out front. We're not actually, nothing's on the agenda for tonight for you all to vote on, but those are in there for you to look at. I took it to the rec board, and they did go with that. I believe it was option C, the third one. And they felt like it matched the kind of the building that we have already and the architecture. And so that's back in Steve Powell and Dalton's hands right now to go out and get bids on that. And then once we have those 3 bids, then of course it'll go back rec board budget and then to you all. So you'll see it again, but that way you can just have an idea of what we're doing. So does anybody have any questions? And the roof is, Steve Powell is in charge of that. He's getting different assessments, and then he'll end up presenting us all with the recommendation when he's done.
Regarding the operating system, are we kind of getting to where we need to be?
We are, finally. We finally, Friday, figured out how to do, like the ACH. That was the one thing we've been waiting on, and they walked us through that, so Kim was able to go in today and get those. And so I think, knock on wood, I think we're running smoothly and getting the hang of it, and it's amazing. It's going to be, change is kind of tough, but it's going to be, we can already see a huge difference.
We'll want to monitor how that system communicates with the system here at City Hall.
Okay.
And so that the revenues are reported and all that reports
Okay.
correctly.
So far, I mean, we were able to take all the same revenue codes that we use here and put those in our system. So it all should match up. I know reporting-wise, they're not having any problems yet, so we'll keep an eye on them. So far, so good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Street Department, recognize Mr. Buddy Glenn.
Well, not a whole lot. We've been keeping up with the contractor over there over Northeast Third and East Manor with that drainage project. We're keeping the dirt hauled off for them, supporting the contract. We're still putting up signs, new street signs. We've got some ordered for Main Street. We're just waiting on them to come in. As soon as they come in, they'll be put up. We're doing a lot of base failure repair that we're doing right now in different areas. We're now over to 9th Street where we was working over there today. Hopefully get some of those finished up, and then grass is growing, and like I said, we got a little sidewalk project we was doing over on South Van. We got half of it set up, couldn't get concrete, then it rained. And now it's finally getting dry enough where we get it, and now we're gonna get some more rain, so now it's gonna be a little bit longer before we get back up in there, so that's just one of them things, but like I said, potholes, I know there's, like I said, we have base failure stuff, and like I said, we just tell people, call up there and leave an address wherever it's at, and then, like I said, we'll try to get to it as fast as we can. Like, got any questions, or? Thank you.
Thank you very much, buddy. That concludes our department head reports. We'll move on to item 4, mayor's report. A on the mayor's report is CARES reimbursement account report with discussion. That I gave report to budget personnel this past week, and I'll just give you what I've given to budget personnel. In essence, what we have is a balance, $408,339.89. That's basically what we have. Now, that's after numbers closed in February, so there's still been some activity and drawing off of that amount. The guidelines that you as a council passed back in September of 2020 are that item 2 on that was reserve of 28% of the total CAR amount for potential future COVID-19 expenses through February 2021. A use evaluation of the reserve will be accomplished in March 2021 and reported back to City Council no later than April 6, 2021 City Council meeting. I do anticipate that at the April 6 council meeting to bring some recommendations to council about how we go about spending the remainder of the CARES Act, or the CARES reverse, the amount that we have left over. So at the close of business in February, it was $408,339.89. So we'll have some responsibility, and coming up at the next council meeting to have some discussion about how we address those funds. Mr. Ritchie, I'll be in touch with you about some guidance in that regard to make sure that we don't stub our toe in any way. So,
Mayor, is there a time limit to where we have to expense the funds for the CARE Act, a sunset clause on it?
the original time limit was December 31st, 2020, and the governor extended that, but to my knowledge, he did not give us a date about what that was. I feel compelled to try to spend those funds in a manner that was intended and with definition.
Yes.
So I'll be consulting with Mr. Ritchie in that regard over the next few days, and also make some recommendations to council. Those recommendations will just be from me, and council, you can anticipate me consulting with you over the next couple of weeks as to how we might approach that. Do y'all have any questions? Any other questions about it? Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 5. Possible executive session pursuant to the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act for the purpose of conferring on matters pertaining to economic development, including the transfer of property financing or the creation of the proposal to entice a business or to remain or to locate within the jurisdiction of the city of Pryor Creek where the public disclosure of the matter discussed would interfere with the development of products or services or would violate the confidentiality of business. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive.
Second.
Motion Ketcher, second Chitwood. Call for vote.
Kitcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries. We will adjourn to executive session. Thank you all for your patience. Not sure how long we'll be there, but we will be back
Jimmy,
soon.
I'll call you right back.
How far is this phone?
Yep,
There we are.
we're just standing by right
Ladies and
now.
gentlemen, thank you for
All
your
right.
patience. We appreciate that very much. Mr. Trammell, are you on?
Yes, he is.
Awesome. Item 6, discussion of possible action regarding resuming regular session. No action taken during executive session. Is there a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Motion Chitwood, second Smith. Call for vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Rickfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Very good. Item 7, city attorney's report. Item A, I'd entertain a motion to enter public hearing.
Second?
Catcher, motion, second. Chitwood, call for vote.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Rickfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Turn it down.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Very good. Mr. Ritchie?
Is there a typo in that? Is that supposed to be Bruce Tibbetts, or is it just Brew?
No, it's Brew.
It's Brew.
It's Brew.
It's Brew.
Thanks. Just making sure. So this is a public hearing on the rezoning applicant, Brew Tibbetts, requesting a zoning change for property described in the.
Sorry.
It's all right. As set forth in the agenda. Present zoning of the property is AG. Requested zoning change is CAR, Commercial Automotive Recreation. Property is located, as I recall, is it across from El Royal, basically in that area?
It's back west just a little bit.
A little bit west of the El Royal location. It's been through the P&Z. P&Z has recommended the zoning change. It's consistent with the comprehensive plan. It's consistent with zoning in the neighborhood. So comes on for public hearing.
We are a public hearing, and Brew, I invite you to come to the microphone if you'd like to speak. Anybody else would like to speak? Council, any questions might have? Anybody?
Not that I have, and
No, but I actually need to talk to you when we're done with this over. Personal matter, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Counselor Nance. Very good. If then there is no participation in the public hearing, then I entertain a motion to exit public hearing.
motion?
Second?
Motion Chitwood, second Nance. Call for vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Rickfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Mr. Tibbetts, thank you for your attendance tonight. We do appreciate it. Item 8, discussion and possible action on applicant's request for rezoning from AG to CAR. Is there a motion?
Motion?
Who made the motion? Shropshire?
Troy, and I'll second.
Second, Chitwood. Discussion. Very good. Call for vote.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Rickfield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll now move to item 9, discussion and possible action on consent agenda. A, approval minutes of March 2nd, 2021 council meeting. B, approval payroll purchase orders through March 19 and April 2nd, 2021. Approval, item C, approval claims for purchase orders through March 16, 2021. Item D, acknowledge receipt of deficient purchase orders. Item E, approval December 2020 appropriation requests. Item F, discussion and possible action regarding approval from bids received to purchase a new 16mm LDD sign in the amount of $37,451.25 from Premier Signs and Design, as in the best interest of the city, to be paid from Recreation Capital Outlay Equipment Account 8455410. Other bids received, Image Builders, $31,681. Amax Sign Company, $43,250. Excuse me. Item G, discussion and possible action regarding disposal of city records as listed on attachment according to City of Pryor Creek retention policy. Item H, discussion and possible action regarding closing Graham Avenue from Adair to Van on April 1st, 2021 from 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for a Pryor Main Street Spring Carnival kickoff block party. There's been brought to my attention an amendment to that item H, and I believe Ms. Thompson has that.
Oh, just an amendment to also include closing South Adair from Graham to First Street as well as a part of that block party.
Very good. Let the minutes show the amendment. Eva, did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item H, discussion, I'm sorry, we did item H. Item I, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure of $30,000 in the form of a matching grant for a National Fitness Campaign fitness court, which would be constructed on the Recreation Center grounds on the west side and toward the south perimeter from Recreation Capital Outlay Account 848455410. Item J, discussion possible action regarding hiring Angelique Cunningham to fill vacant dispatcher position at the Pryor Creek Police Department, Range D, Step 1, annual wage $32,534, effective March 22nd, 2021. This position was left vacant by the resignation of Hannah Thompson. Item K, discussion possible action regarding accepting the resignation of Stephanie Perry from dispatch position at the Pryor Creek Police Department effective March 19, 2021. Item L, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $34,237.45 from the purchase of 5-year maintenance and backup phone from new Motorola CallWorks 911 system that was received through the Oklahoma 911 Management Authority grant from COVID reimbursement account 02-201-5401. Excuse me. Item M, discussion possible action regarding expenditure in the amount of $3,166.72 from GT Distributors from the purchase of 32 Streamlight ProTac rifle lights at $98.96 each from Police Equipment Capital Outlay 444455424. Other quotes received, please excuse me, $4,159.68, Midway USA, $5,375.68, Galls. Item N, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $11,947.52 to GT Distributors for the purchase of 32 Vortex Strike Eagle 1-6x24 AR-BDC3 rifle optics at $243.68 each and 32 Pro 30mm cantilever mounts at $129.68 each for the police department from COVID reimbursement account 02-201-5401. This price includes a lifetime warranty. Other quotes received, $11,999.36, Vortex Optics, $14,336 from Amazon. Item O, discussion possible action regarding authorizing mayor to sign 2021 Emergency Operations Plan for Mays County Emergency Management. Item P, discussion possible action regarding hiring Brody Williard as B operator, Range C, Step 1, and annual wage $30,834 at Pryor Creek Street Department, effective March 29, 2021. This is the consent agenda. I would ask council to remove items that they choose.
A.
Item A.
K.
Item K.
F.
I.
Item F. Item I.
J. And J, yes.
Item J.
Did someone say K?
I did.
Yes. Are there others? I have listed item A, item F, item I, item J, item K. If there are no others, I would entertain a motion to approve all of those items not yet removed.
Second.
And there's a motion. Ketcher? Was that Ketcher?
Yes.
And second, Smith.
Point at me to-
Call for vote?
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'd just like to make one comment on that book right there. Johnny Jensen and Mike Dillman spent a lot of time putting that book together, and I'd like to thank them for their efforts. And that will helpfully, if we ever have an incident like Texas did, that's our book to go to.
Thank you, Council Smith. This is the Mays County Emergency Operations Plan.
That's a lot of work.
One of the things that we do in Mays County is we take the work of Johnny Jansen and Mike Dunham and that staff who Steve Smith is part of, we take them for granted. And all of us, whether we know it or not, we are very much indebted to them and to their efforts. And by the way, Mr. Jansen, he would not probably want me to say this, but for those who participate in the job that he participates around the state, he is very well known and very well respected. And we are very lucky and fortunate to have him on board. And I very much appreciate what he does.
Yep.
Thank you, Council Smith. All right. Item A, approve minutes of the March 2nd, 2021 council meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion, Breakfield. Second, Chipwood. Discussion. Call for vote.
Trammell,
Trammell.
He's got the volume.
Trammell.
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Abstain.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item F, discussion of possible action regarding approval of bids received to purchase a new 60mm LED sign in the amount of $37,451.25 from Premier Signs and Design as in the best interest of the city, to be paid from Recreation Capital Outlay Equipment Account 848455410. Other bids received, Image Builders, $31,681. Amex Sign Company, $43,250. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion,
Second.
motion Thompson, second Ketcher. Discussion.
What is the best interest?
I'd invite Jessica Long to come to the microphone.
Just a little background on this. So when we first talked about if the sign was necessary and something that we needed to look at replacing, because it hasn't worked in, I think, close to a year now. And I did pay Justin at Premier to come out right after I started in August to do a repair and see if that would help, and it didn't work either. So when I presented it to the board the first time, they said yes, they felt there was a need, and asked me to look into it. So I went out and got the bids and presented them at the next meeting, and because of the difference in the low bid and then that middle bid that I was recommending, they asked for another month to do their own research, which they did, and I did further research on the two products. The low bid it's a different product. It's called an Optech, which is considered to be in the lower tier as far as sign products go, whereas the Watchfire product is what we had, and it is the Cadillac, so to speak, of the sign companies. And so quality, that's your biggest difference in the two. Watchfire, I mean, we've had that sign since 2006, so it's long, outlived itself. And in talking to Justin and in trying to get some information from him on the differences, I just wanted to read something that he sent out to our board that I thought was valuable to think about. He said, "It's worth noting that the two sign companies like Amax and Premier stand firmly behind providing Watchfire products when it's honestly easier to sell a lesser product at a cheaper price. Could we make more sales with a cheaper, inferior product? Yes. The issue, as I see it, is serving the customer and providing value and peace of mind with a product that has a proven track record of quality and durability. It's worth noting that if you take away the trade-in discount, which Watchfire gives us a $4,000 trade-in for what we have now, if you take that away, there's actually a $10,000 difference between our quote and the smaller Optech quote. As a buyer, that would make me question the value and the quality, not necessarily of the higher quote, but of the cheaper one. And so, he gave us a dozen people here in town that use Watchfire, so the board voted, they felt more comfortable going with a product that they knew durability and product-wise, it was the best.
I believe we also have somebody local who can service that.
Yes.
Yes, it's a local vendor also.
It's a local vendor, and he's been so helpful, just getting us the information that we needed to try to make the right decision, so. Welcome.
Other questions? Thank you, Jessica. If no other discussion or questions, then hearing none, I'll call for vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item I, discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure of $30,000 in the form of matching grant for a national fitness campaign fitness court, which would be constructed on the Recreation Center grounds on the west side and toward the south perimeter from Recreation Capital Outlay Account 84-845-5410. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion Chitwood, second Smith. I would invite Ms. Long to come to the microphone again. We have a video that she has prepared for presentation on this item.
Is it okay if I show it first?
Yes, ma'am.
Short.
Short video, no popcorn.
We're changing the way America thinks about fitness. With 200 fitness courts open, our campaign is growing. From college campuses to city parks and trails, we're bringing free fitness everywhere, and we're just getting started. Hi, I'm Mitch Fernandez, founder of the National Fitness Campaign. National Fitness Campaign was founded in 1979 when we opened the first fitness court. Redesigned for the 21st century, the fitness court is the world's best outdoor gym. Our 7-movement, 7-minute system allows you to use your own body weight to get the perfect workout. Easy or hard, it will work for you. Our goal is to build healthy communities by making outdoor fitness an essential part of people's lives so that each day is better than the last. This year, 2,000 certified ambassadors will be trained to deliver classes, challenges, and clinics as part of our national fitness campaign. We'll also be hosting training camps on college campuses across America. The Fitness Court mobile app is your gateway to enroll in these programs, learn the moves, and take challenges as we dig deep to create impact for our partners across America. We're proud to have helped cities of all sizes raise millions of dollars from respected sponsors to support free fitness. Wherever fitness is a priority, you can find a fitness court. Building beyond 200 cities and colleges, we're now partnering with large cities using urban movement data to map the best locations for pedestrian infrastructure. We're bringing fitness courts to within 10 minutes of population centers everywhere. We're now committed to raise $150 million to bring the campaign to 1,000 cities and schools, building the largest fitness movement in the world. Join us. Let's make world-class fitness free.
Okay, so I thought it'd be easier to just show you than try to explain. Currently, there are only 2 other cities in Oklahoma that have these. Okmulgee opened the first one in 2018, and the mayor and Yolanda and Houston, Britton and I all went down yesterday to take a look at that. We wanted to see it firsthand and talk to their community developer, and just kind of question him on some things, and we were really glad that we went, got a lot of good information. And then Oklahoma City, a year later, put in They have 5 down there. So we would be the 3rd city in Oklahoma if we decide to do this. When they approached me about it. They felt like Pryor would be the perfect spot to have one. They did a site feasibility study, and they picked their top 3 places based on pedestrian traffic and just location on where they thought it should go. The rec center was their first choice. Centennial was their second, and then Whitaker was the third. I think I'm in love with the idea. I think it's a great idea for so many reasons. So I would be so excited to have it at the rec center. I feel like one thing Okmulgee might be lacking is kind of programming. We don't really have anyone that's in charge of it, so to speak. Whereas if it was on the rec center grounds, we could hold classes, we could hold business challenges, we could get RSU out there, we could get Thunderbird, the after-school program, and really form a partnership, which is one thing that we've really been trying to do the last 6 months, is get the rec center out into the community and start forming those partnerships. And yes, we're looking for revenue, but at the same time, this is a chance for us to bring free fitness to the community as well. And so it just works. It's kind of a win-win. Plus, we're getting people to our building. And if they're going to come there to work out outside, chances are eventually they're going to go inside and see what we have. And something like this is not going to be available year-round just because of weather. So, of course, our hope would be maybe some of those would turn into memberships. But if not, it's just a great way for us to give back to the community and to partner with a lot of people in town. And so we're really excited about the opportunity. The agenda mentions the west side. After talking with the National Fitness Campaign and Mayor and I talking, they would prefer for it to go on the east side, just right there, you know where the employee entrance is, in that grassy area. That corner seems to get more traffic, but also there's a few trees there, so shade would be valuable when it gets hot in the summer, to have some shade on that court. Also, we've got cameras there, we've got lights from the parking lot. I think that would deter from vandalism and things like that, whereas if it was at a park, that might be more of an issue. So that's kind of where we're thinking about. They will give us, well, we can apply. I will turn it in tomorrow for a grant for $30,000, but they wanted to see the city commit to being able to do $30,000 as well, and then we'll raise the rest in sponsorship money, which I think we can. I'm very confident we can do that as well.
We do have ample money budgeted in our the capital outlay rec center line item, and so that's where that money would come from. So Jessica, I'll also explain the financial commitment beyond.
Okay, so before we could even discuss it or go any further, we had to I had to be able to say I feel like there will be city commitment for the $30,000, and then we had to be able to say that we could probably raise at least $50,000 in sponsorship dollars, which we've already started talking about. People that we can reach out to that I think will get behind this 110% and help us. And so the way it would work is if you all approve it tonight, we would submit the grant tomorrow. We should know in less than 2 weeks if we receive that money. And then once they approve the grant, then they will help us by giving us some marketing material and things that we can take out and just start meeting one-on-one with sponsors. And if we can get the money relatively quickly, which I hope we can, this thing could be in place by the summer. So it would move pretty fast.
So what's the total cost of this project?
So total cost, minimum commitment's $110, total cost is $130. It depends also on how much in-kind we could get, as far as they will come out and do the install of the actual equipment itself. I think we're responsible for concrete, and then we have to find someone to do the actual rubber padding. And so if we can get some of that done in kind, we could save money here or there, but 130 was the number that they.
So part of that responsibility for us is building partnership and recruiting monies to finish it out.
Yes. Yes.
So that is would be part of our responsibility, and there are those in our community who have a history of supporting in those ways, and I'm fairly confident that we can do a good job of recruiting those funds and that participation from others. questions, comments, observations,
Right now.
thoughts?
I thought, so on the sponsors, depending on how you get it, are you gonna name a section after each sponsor?
So it depends on which level of sponsorship they choose. Depending on what level they are, at some point, and I haven't seen that material yet to know exactly, but the one in Okmulgee, certain levels got just their name printed on the inside on a recognition board that's inside the fitness court. The larger sponsors, which for Okmulgee was OSU and a business there in town, they actually got their logos on the front of the fitness court, which would be facing our parking lot.
Okay.
And so it's gonna get a lot of exposure for the big sponsors that choose to, but I haven't seen the sponsorship information to see what those levels are yet.
Very good. Hopefully this generates some excitement in the community,
I think so.
starting right now, moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, there's so much we could do with it. So it's pretty exciting.
If we fall short on people committing or sponsoring, you got a contingency plan?
No, because I don't think that's gonna happen. But if we were to fall short, it would just stop the process. I mean, we wouldn't, like, we're not gonna have to write them a check yet. We just have to commit. We have to commit to that $30,000, approve it, go through the process on our end. And then if we aren't able to raise the money, we would just stop the process. They won't award us any grant money until we have those funds secured. They did tell me that they have extra grant money available. So if we get down the road and we're short just a little bit, there are extra funds. We're coming in at a good time because it's the end of their grant. So they want to help us speed up the process to get us in. They also have extra money left over this year. So, I mean, there's a possibility that they can help us if we can't get it, but we're pretty confident we can get it.
So by the council approving this, I just want to make sure I'm clear, because I'm sitting here thinking Competitive Bidding Act, $50,000 cap, when you hit that 50,000 mark. But what you're telling us is that what the council's voting on is a commitment of 30,000 that would qualify us for the grant. And if that grant is approved, then ultimately this is gonna come back in front of the council for approval of the actual building project. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. From what I understand about reading the information and the information that Jessica has given to us, what the National Fitness Campaign requires from us is the commitment of $30,000, and they match that $30,000, and then the remainder we agree to raise from sponsors.
Does it have to be raised from sponsors?
No, it would not have to be raised from sponsors. That's part of the community participation that in my opinion, that we would want to pursue.
So the portion of it that you talked about, concrete and stuff like that, can you say that again? What is it?
So there'll be just a few expenses at the end, what do they call them,
Finishing expenses.
for the final, and so there is some concrete, and then the padding, and I don't know about the padding, I know the concrete is a finishing, but the padding, I think we just pick, I think it's included in the price, but we pick who
the contractor is
contractor
going to
is on
be,
that.
yeah.
Because we were advised on who not to pick, so,
Okay.
but that's included in the overall price, the concrete is on us.
Okay.
And
But
then
this
the
group
installments.
comes in and builds it, this group
Yes, they
comes
come
in and builds it.
mhm,
We don't
ships
have to
in.
hire contractors or anything
No.
like
No,
that?
they come in and do the install.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
But what you were saying is that if we decide to go the extra mile, that may go the 50,000 cap if we don't get the sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, I could foresee that if you couldn't get the sponsors, I mean, plan for the worst and hope for the best. Then if we were gonna be pushing that 50,000, we'd probably have to bring it back in for approval.
Oh, if we were gonna push for funding
Yeah.
the remainder, yes, we would
Project, yeah,
have to bring that back into approval, yes.
okay, all right. I'm good with that. The only other question I have is you talked about the location perhaps being at a different spot than specified in the agenda item. I would suggest that motion being amended
To say east.
basically where it says rec center grounds on the second page, where it starts off rec center grounds.
To say east instead of west.
Just strike where it says on the west side toward the south perimeter. All the way through the end of that first line. So that it would read, discussion possible action regarding expenditure of $30,000 in the form of matching grant for a national fitness campaign fitness court, which would be constructed on the rec center grounds from capital outlay account. And just get rid of the specification of the location.
Get rid of that identification.
I will amend my motion, the recommendation of attorney.
We have an amendment to the motion, Chitwood. Do we have amendment to the second?
You seconded it, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Smith.
I'm in my second.
Council Smith amends his second. Discussion on the amendment?
Nope.
Are there any other questions for Jessica? Any other comments?
No, thank you for your good work and diligence and looking for other things to bring to our community.
Absolutely. Call for vote?
Ketchum,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item J, discussion possible action regarding hiring Angelique Cunningham to fill vacant dispatcher position at the Pryor Creek Police Department at Range D, Step 1, annual wage $32,534, effective March 22nd, 2021. This position was left vacant by the resignation of Hannah Thompson. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion Ketcher, second Smith. Discussion.
Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome. We're glad that you're here.
I'm Angie Cunningham. We consider it an honor and a privilege if you decide to let me serve your community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angie, for coming.
Welcome aboard.
Further discussion? Questions? Hearing none. Call for vote?
Shropshire,
Yes.
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketchum.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item K.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Item K, discussion possible action regarding accepting the resignation of Stephanie Perry from dispatch position at the Pryor Creek Police Department effective March 19, 2021.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion Chitwood, second Smith. Discussion.
On behalf of myself and the city council, we'd like to thank Stephanie Perry for her service to the city. Very much appreciated. And the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Very good. Call for vote?
Nance,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
What'd he say?
Yes.
Yes.
Thompson,
Exactly.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 10, committee reports. Budget personnel, Wakefield.
There's nothing really to report, other than our next meeting is April 13th at 5:30.
Very good. Take one, pass those down. Ordinance insurance, Shropshire.
Not at this time.
Street committee, Smith.
Meeting next week.
Meeting next week. Y'all come, it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll move to item 11, unforeseeable business. I do have one item of unforeseeable business, and rather than making a motion to this item, I would like to explain it first and then entertain a motion. Today, in my meeting with Frank Powell, a budget meeting, we were talking about cemetery, and we're talking about roads in the cemetery. And I told him that we needed to include that in the budget, in the budget for the following, for the next year. And then we got to looking at Fund 19. Fund 19 is the Cemetery Care Fund. The total fund equity in that fund right now is $144,291.45. That Cemetery Care Fund, it builds fund equity as fees, as donations are paid or are given into that Cemetery Care Fund. And I would encourage City Clerk Eva Smith to correct me if I say anything that's not correct here. I'm speaking from my understanding of it, and also Mr. Ritchie or any other council member. Mr. Trammell. Anyway, we have a cemetery care fund that is in the amount of $144,000 plus. And we got a hold of City Engineer Steve Powell, and I asked him to give some kind of an estimate about repairing these streets in our cemetery. And he gives an estimate, just an off-the-cuff estimate of somewhere in the neighborhood of $60,000. And if that's in essence what that will cost us, I would like to see council consider before the end of the year spending from that cemetery care fund to repair the roads that are in great need of repair at our cemetery. So I've sent down the line, I've sent this piece of paper that is a recap of the emails that I have shared with Steve Powell, excuse me, and that he has shared back with me. There is no amount, bottom line here, other than an estimated amount. But what he does say in this email is to do all of Fairview except Far East Road plus Graham Cemetery East Entrance, 6,233 square yards. Today, the AC spot market is $123 a ton on the truck. We recently bid a Wagner overlay job and with three bidders. Two bidders were very close to each other at $77 and $81 a ton as overlay, no milling that was in place. I believe this to be much closer to correct, so I am estimating the overlay in place at $81 a ton, which would be an estimated amount of $59,535. There's a contractor in town, but that one does not lay down the overlay. He says they used Boss Asphalt in Claremore on Dog Pound Road project. The work in front of the high school was concrete. Boss does a very good job, and I believe that he needs to work. He said, I talked to Jay Cheney with Boss. They're interested, and a ballpark for the overlay in place would be a little less than $80 a ton. He would say that based on not having to go through a total bid issue, bid bonding and such. And he also says that he has another company. On the back of the page, on the second paragraph, he says we would prepare bid documents, exhibits, and advertise for bid, as well as notify some of the smaller companies in our area to bid the project. He said we can get by with 21 days of bid, so if we notify the paper by Thursday noon, it will run on Monday, March 22nd, and bid on April the 12th, with award on April 19th. Immediate start, may get the majority done by May the 28th. I will need to be he said, it will need to be clearly identified in the advertisement of the delivery dates, rapid contract phase, and need to complete by May the 25th. So, for us to take this action with the roads, with the funding from the Cemetery Care Fund, then we would need action tonight from City Council to that effect, to give Mr. Powell the authority to go out for bid and to advertise in the paper and to go through this process with the purpose of being completed by May 28, which would be by Memorial Day. So I don't have this motion written down, but discussion and possible action regarding authorizing City Engineer Steve Powell to go to bid for street repair project at the cemetery, estimated cost $60,000. Funds to be taken from Cemetery Care Fund, which is Fund 19.
I would make that motion.
Mayor, yeah, before you make the motion, I have two kind of issues with that. One is that I don't believe that qualifies really as unforeseeable business.
Okay.
That could be brought up without having been placed on an agenda. Unforeseeable business item would be somewhat of an emergency, something that, you know, comes up at the last minute and it has to be addressed right then.
I see.
So I think from that standpoint, I would recommend that we not take action on that tonight. The other question that I have is, and I'd have to look at this, but cemetery care funds are statutorily regulated for the amount that is supposed to be kept in those. There's some kind of a formula, if I recall correctly.
There are some statutory regulations, and I right offhand, I couldn't tell you, but we can.
And I would like to have an opportunity to take a look at that cemetery care fund to make sure that we are operating within those statutory guides if we do that for the roads.
Very good. Thank you for the counsel. I appreciate that very much. And so then we will not consider that. We will not consider that tonight. I would like to. I would like to have. If it would be all right with council, after having conferred with city attorney, I would like to perhaps have the authority to engage our city engineer in proceeding. There would not be any commitment to do the job, and the job needs to be done, and so the city engineer's fees would need to be spent anyway to design the job, to create the bid documents, et cetera. So if council, is it appropriate for me to ask for that authority from council tonight?
What would you anticipate the cost on something like that to be?
The fees?
Yeah, just to do the engineering that you're talking about.
On this small project, I would estimate those fees to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000 to $5,000 probably.
Okay. That's going to be over your $2,500 that you can just do on your own.
Yes, it would be.
So, I mean, that really just needs to be an agenda item at the next agenda.
Okay.
Even the authorization to go ahead and do any kind of design work.
Okay. Very good.
And the park board meets between now and the next council, so they're oversight for the cemetery.
Yes, they are.
So
Park board is oversight.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you for that guidance. I appreciate it. So, very good. Item 12 is Mr. Ketcher.
Second.
Motion to adjourn. Second. Chitwood, thank you very much. Call for vote.
Smith?
Yes.
Chitwood?
Yes.
Wakefield?
Yes.
Trammell? Thompson?
Yes.
Pitcher?
Yes.
Shropshire? Nance?
Yes.
All right, we'll call to order Public Works Authority, and item 2, approve minutes of March 2nd, 2021 meeting.
Motion, second.
And so who motioned?
Sure.
Shropshire.
Shropshire.
Motion, second, Chitwood. Call for vote?
Chitwood?
Yes.
Brightfield?
Yes.
Trammell?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Pitcher?
Yes.
Shropshire?
Yes.
Nance?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Very good. Item 3, unforeseeable business. There is none. Item 4.
Second.
Getzer motion to adjourn. Second, Smith. Call for vote?
Brightfield?
Yes.
Trammell?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Pitcher?
Yes.
Shropshire?
Yes.
Nance?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Chitwood?
Yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.